Here's my dog. Hi, dog. Hi. Yeah, that's Buster. And he maybe will do some yoga too. And I think that's all of the spiel that I have. So maybe I'll just hand it off to Bree right now. And I think I'll unpin myself. So you can probably spotlight your screen.
Hey everyone, so I'm Coach Breanna. I do she, her pronouns. Oh, you already spotlighted it. Awesome. Thanks.
I figured out how to do it.
So you don't need any props today unless you want props nearby because you normally use them. Then go ahead and grab them, but I'm not going to use any props today. And we're going to start in a seated position at the center of our mats. So I hope your NaNoWriMo is going well. During today's practice, maybe try to just let go of any worries, any stress about your word count, and we'll get the creative juices flowing and we'll get you where you need to be. So sit up nice and tall, crisscross applesauce if you can. Otherwise, if you need to, feel free. You can let your legs come out straight if that's more comfortable. Go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to take a deep inhale through your nose. Deep exhale through your nose. One more time, deep inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, let your shoulders drop. Take a couple long, slow, deep breaths on your own. Filling those lungs with air. And making sure to empty them completely every time you exhale. Start to draw some circles with the crown of your head. You can imagine there's a paintbrush at the top of your head. Think about what color of paint you're using, if that helps you stay in the moment. Go ahead and switch directions. Draw those circles the other way. Go nice and slow. And then find some stillness back at the center. I want you to shrug your shoulders up towards your ears and then back down towards the floor. Again, shrug them all the way up. Send them back down. And then I want you to keep your hips rooted where they are. We're going to start to circle with our bodies, but try not to let your hips pop up, which can be, at least for me, a little bit hard, but try to keep them where they are. And go nice and slow. You can make as small or as big of a circle as you want. And apologies for any background noises from my mom's cat who's decided to play in her toy box. Go ahead and switch directions, go the other way. And then find that stillness again. If your eyes are still closed, I invite you to open them. We're going to take a deep inhale and reach our arms all the way up. And then exhale, bring your hands back down. One more time, reach all the way up. Exhale, bring them back down. Again, reach up, but this time as you exhale, cactus your arms, open up your chest towards the ceiling, press the elbows back wide, and then gently release. From here, let's stretch the side body before we get up and moving. So take your right hand and place it right next to you. Inhale, reach up and over.
Oh my gosh, sorry to interrupt your flow. I muted all participants, but it muted you too. It just happened. If you can just unmute yourself really fast. I'm so sorry. I didn't know it would do that.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, thank you. I won't do that again.
Zoom shenanigans.
Yeah.
And rise up if you were still over to the side. From here, we're gonna make our way to tabletop. So I want you to rock and roll up to your knees. If you have knee problems, you might want to put a towel down, or you could always double up your mat like so. Especially if you're on tile or wood, but go ahead and meet me in tabletop. Want your hands underneath your shoulders, hips are right over those knees. We're gonna take some cat-cows. So inhale, drop your belly, gaze forward. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, press out of the heel of your hand into those shoulders. Inhale, drop the belly. Without moving your hands, pull them back. Exhale, really curve that spine like a Halloween cat. Let's take one more. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze up. Exhale. Find that neutral spine tabletop position. And then we're gonna move side to side. So left ear to left hip, right ear to right hip. And just keep going at your own pace. You can try to gaze behind that shoulder. This might feel a little bit silly, but there's nothing wrong with being silly. And come back to center. From here, let's take a couple bird dogs just to warm up our core, especially our backs. So I want you to reach your right hand forward, left foot back. So opposite hand, opposite foot, press into the heel and release. So left hand, right foot, nice long spine, nice long neck, release. Take a couple more on each side. You don't have to kick too high in that foot. You just want to press through the heel. And make sure that the hand that's on the ground, you're not dipping into that shoulder. You're really pressing up and out. Take one more on each side, whatever number you are on. And come back to tabletop. We're gonna take a couple down dogs today, but we won't hold them for very long. So tuck your toes, send your hips back, press out of all 10 fingers. You can walk the feet out, bending one knee and then the other. Go ahead and stay there. I'm just gonna fix the mic. There we go. From here, I want you to walk your feet up towards your hands. So just take baby steps. And then lift halfway as you inhale. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, you're gonna rise all the way up to standing, reaching your arms nice and tall. Exhale, bring your hands down to your sides, mountain pose. I want you to take a breath here. I want you to feel the mat with all four corners of each foot. One more deep inhale. Deep exhale. And then we're gonna reach left foot back. You can take your toes about 45-degree angles. We're gonna take goddess pose and star pose. So star pose, just bring your arms out nice and long, big T. I want you to feel the mat again with each corner of your foot. Press the toes into the mat, but don't lock your knees. Make sure There's still some bend in them. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. And then tuck your pelvis, bend the knees, come down to goddess pose. So make sure you're tucking your butt and you're not sticking it out like you would for a squat. This is more of a plie. Make sure your knees are pressing out behind you and they're not leaning in. You're gonna feel some heat in your inner thighs, but this is a power pose. So if you've been feeling a little powerless, I hope this gives you the energy you need to get out of that funk. Go ahead and rise up to star pose. Turn your feet to parallel to the long side of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips. We're gonna take a wide forward fold. So slowly and be gentle with yourself, start to come down. You can let the crown of your head hang heavy. If you can reach the floor, you can let your fingertips gently graze the floor. You could also clasp your hands behind your back and then let the hands drop as far as they will. Take a deep inhale here. Deep exhale. If your hands are behind your back, go ahead and bring them back down. I want you to slowly, very slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Your head should be the last thing to come up. And from here, we're gonna take warrior two by turning our right toes towards the short end of the mat. You can keep your back foot where it is, although depending on your stance, you might need to move it either shorter or longer distance from the front foot. You're gonna bend that front knee, bring your arms out wide, gaze over those front fingertips. I want you to check in with your whole body here, staying in the present. Can you feel the mat in all four corners of each foot? Are you pressing out on the knife edge of that back foot? Watch your torso. Are you leaning backwards? Are you leaning forward? Make sure that your shoulders are right over those hips. And check in with that front knee. Is it leaning in or out? Make sure it's right over that front ankle. Take a deep inhale. Deep exhale. On your next inhale, reach up and back, peaceful warrior. So you're sliding that left hand down the left leg. If it's okay on your neck, gazing up. Feel that side body stretch. And then come back to warrior two. From here, we're gonna windmill our arms down to a low lunge. So you can start with that back hand, pivot on the back foot. We're gonna hold this low lunge just for a couple breaths, stretching out that hip flexor. Take a deep inhale, deep exhale. If you need to, you can drop the back knee, untuck the back toes. And from here, you're gonna make your way to tabletop in whatever way is comfortable for you. So for some of you, you might just slide that front foot back. For other people, you might need to come up off the front foot and then slide it back. Do whatever feels the most comfortable for you. And then we're gonna go back to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, send the hips back, and feel that stretch in the shoulders, down your hamstrings. Just take one deep inhale here, deep exhale, and then you're gonna walk the feet back up to your hands. We're gonna do that all again on the other side. So inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reach as high as you can, mini back bend. And then exhale, bring your hands down to your sides. Feel free to take a breath here. If you need to, close your eyes. And then we're gonna step our left foot back again, but don't worry, we'll do warrior two on the other side. So bring your feet again to 45-degree angles towards the long side of your mat. Bring your arms out wide for star pose. Make sure your shoulders are down and you're not wearing them as earrings. Take a deep breath here. Inhale, reach your arms up again. And then remember, tuck your pelvis as you bend your knees and come down to goddess pose. Feel the energy in all 10 fingers. You can gently press the elbows back to open up your chest a little bit. Feel the weight in your big toe and in your heels. Just gonna make you hold it for one more breath. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. And you can rise back up to star pose. Go ahead and turn your feet parallel towards the long side of your mat. Hands come to your hips. We'll take our wide forward fold. So gently fold yourself down towards the ground. Again, you can bring your hands down, or if you want to clasp them behind your back, maybe with the opposite thumb on top this time. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. If your hands are clasped behind your back, bring them down to the ground. Slowly roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Your head should be the last thing to come up. Feel free to take your time. And then we'll take warrior two on the other side by turning our left toes towards the back of the mat. Heel to midfoot alignment here, or heel to arch. You're gonna bend into the front leg. Arms come out nice and long. And stay here in the moment by checking in with all the parts of your body. Keep track of that back arm. Mine has a tendency to drop. So pay attention to that in your own body. And again, the leaning back as if you're surfing. Keep those shoulders over the hips. Should feel a little bit of power in that front leg. You can gaze over those fingertips like you're looking at your sworn enemy. And on your next inhale, reach back for peaceful warrior, letting the right hand slide down the back leg. Feel that stretch in your side body again. Should feel pretty good. And then come back to warrior two. From here, we're gonna do that windmill down to low lunge again. So start with the back hand and windmill down, pivoting on that back foot. If you need to, drop the knee here. If you find that you don't have a lot of space in low lunge, this is a spot where you might want blocks if you have them. Gotta do what works best for your body. And from here, we'll make our way back to tabletop. So do that in whatever way is most comfortable for you. And we are not going to go back to downward facing dog this time. We will go to child's pose by taking our knees out wide. Let your big toes touch. Send your hips back. Walk your fingertips forward. And feel free to let your forehead touch the mat. I want you to take a deep breath in that child's pose. Deep exhale. And I want you to walk your fingertips over towards the right and feel a little bit more of a stretch in that side body again. You can place one hand over the other or leave them side by side. Go ahead and walk the hands towards the other side of your mat. Feeling the stretch in the opposite side body. Deep inhale, deep exhale. And then walk the hands back to center. Taking a couple more deep breaths here, seeing if you can get a little bit lower, a little bit closer to your mat. See if you can release a little bit more tension. Maybe tension you didn't even know you were holding on to. And then walk the hands back up. And we're gonna make our way onto our backs. So find your way down onto your back with your feet still on the mat, knees pointing up towards the ceiling. We're gonna find bridge pose next. So you're gonna press into your heels, lifting your hips, lifting that upper back. And I want you to really press into those heels. Make sure your knees don't start wavering in and out. We've been sitting a lot, and this pose is really great for that. Go ahead and release back down. We're gonna take a full happy baby next, so you can bring your knees in towards your chest, out towards the armpits. You can grab behind your thighs. You can do peace fingers around the big toes, or reach for the outsides of those feet with the elbows on the inside of your knee. Your feet are flexed. You want to keep the knees in towards the armpits, but your feet, if you take them out wider, you should feel a greater stretch in those hips. I'm gonna hold this one for a little bit longer than the other stretches. Make sure you're pressing your back flat against your mat. Go ahead and release the feet down. And we're gonna take a reclined pigeon. So cross the right ankle over the left knee, foot is flexed. You're gonna lift the left foot off the ground, foot is flexed. Press the right knee away from you. Left knee comes in towards the body, and you can wrap your hands around that left thigh if that feels good. If this is too much, you can always leave that left foot on the floor, always an option. Check in with your breath here. Follow every inhale in through your nose, down into your lungs. Feel your lungs expand, then follow the air back out. Notice the contact between your back and your mat or the floor. Let that feeling keep you here in the present. From here, we're gonna bring our arms out to a T, but keep your feet where they are for now. And you're gonna take a twist by allowing that right foot to come onto the floor. So gently let it fall, and then turn to look over towards the right. Just a gentle twist. I know if you've come to these a lot, I usually include this stretch a lot. It's one of my favorites. And if you need something to keep you here in the present, if your mind is wandering, notice the contact between your fingertips and the floor. What kind of textures are you feeling? Is it soft or smooth? On your next inhale, go ahead and return to center. Both feet come down to your mat. We're gonna take that on the other side. So left crosses over the right knee, foot is flexed. Right foot comes off the mat, foot is flexed. Left knee presses away, right knee presses in. You can wrap your hands around that right thigh. Take a couple deep breaths here. Allow your body some time to relax. If you have anything that's worrying you, any stress about your nano project, let that stress melt into the mat and drift away. When you're ready, bring your arms out to a T. And then you're gonna gently let that left foot come to the right side of your mat. Completely normal. Take a second here to notice how the breath feels different when you're breathing deep in different positions. And go ahead and return to center, bringing both feet back to the mat. I want you to grab behind your thighs, rock and roll up to a seated position. Go ahead and shake your arms out. You can roll your neck a little if you need a little bit more, but that is our yoga practice today. So I hope you feel ready to write and at least a little bit looser.